We've had the privilege of spending a day with emerging leaders. There are 50 emerging leaders who've been selected through a competitive process, and they represent the people we believe have the potential to contribute hugely to EU-Australia relations.
EU, a unique construction in the history of the world. So now there is a new optimism. The mood in Europe has changed. The mood is very positive.
A constellation of forces are actually driving the EU and Australia together in terms of a future relationship with the European Union on the international stage.
But now the Australian Institute is a federated Australia-wide body.
We are like-minded countries. Our shared values unite us. Australia and the EU. Open, liberal democracies.
We share values and interests, and we have now a new community of leaders gathered tonight to take this common agenda forward.
We are really excited about not only the opportunity to be able to strengthen those networks with all of those that are representing European nations, but also to celebrate the emerging leaders that we also are fostering.
Good morning to you all, and it's wonderful to hear so much discussion so quickly in the room.
My name is Alan Madden, Gadigal Elder. A very warm and sincere welcome to you to Gadigal.
The calibre of those participating is evidence that the Senior Leaders Forum shows it is already an important part of our bilateral landscape.
The synthesis is Europe and Australia can together work on very specific and very concrete areas of cooperation.
And it's with great pleasure to be up here with Victor presenting on behalf of the emerging leaders.
We really had a wonderful few days.
I want to focus in my remarks essentially on global geopolitical shocks. Such shocks have been coming thick and fast in recent times. Last week's events will be seen not just by the day's bloggers and leader writers, but the historians of the future, as the day that the United States actually abdicated the global leadership role that it has played.
And the financial and sovereign debt crisis can come back easily. There are warning indications because we so far are focusing too much in just spreading risks, but not in reducing risks.
Migration tends to be the mitigating action, and sometimes the only available mitigating action that individuals can take to respond to both transnational, global and regional shocks.
Now globally, retail has always been local, and that has now profoundly changed.
After all, people in some of the oldest Western civilisations on Earth have in the last few years been rudely forced to confront the question of just what they expect of the state.
The rise of populist parties or agendas in European and US politics results from the inability by conventional politics and political parties to deal effectively with the impact of deep structural technological disruption.
Another way to read it is that the votes cast in the final round of the presidential election for established political parties were of course precisely zero. So there's clearly something going on. Voters are not happy about something.
Throwing more facts at fake news is like throwing water on a grease fire. We cannot control the internet, but as societies we can support quality journalism.
Clearly, more trade, more innovation are two critical paths to better prosperity, increased prosperity.
And for 20 years, we averaged economic growth of 6.3% every year, and our productivity levels were very close to US levels. And it was during that time that for the first time Ireland became a net migration immigrants instead of outflows.
We've moved to almost a fully market-driven immigration program, and that's allowed the country to scale up its immigration intake without ministers getting in the way from year to year, because the thing is driven by demand.
A third of the EU GDP is coming from trade. So the rest comes to trade with the rest of the world, which means that, in other words, every 1 billion of export by the EU is creating 14,000 jobs.